guys, happy Thursday. I'm excited to have you all here today. I am not in front of my office today, which is kind of cool. I'm outside because it's nice. So I want to chat with you a little bit about PTSD and family for me. Kind of in the wind. We'll see if that works. And how I went through it. So for me, when I didn't know what it was, at the time, but when I got it, I remember I couldn't work. I had a ton of anxiety. This was way back when, within a year of me starting as a cop. And it was basically, I just felt like I wasn't in control of my emotions. And I walked into my parents' house. They're like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "I don't know what's going on with me, but something's not right. Something that I'm going through and all this, it's just not right." And mom's like, "Okay, all right." So she didn't go to work. Dad didn't go to work. We all stood here. I called hotlines and all these different things and talked to them. And then I went to therapy that day because it was an emergent. And then I got on medication that day because it was an emergent. So my family was really, really helpful at that point. And I wasn't with Jason yet either at that point. And I feel like that kind of had something to do with it too, because I didn't really have anybody who understood what I was going through. And I was pretty new in being a cop. So that's been awesome. Also with family, I could talk about this all day because I've had ups, down, up, down. And then one of my traumatic events did involve a family member. So that was really hard for me. And I did the treatments that we talked about yesterday. You can go back and look at those, but I did one of those to help with that actual event. And let's see, for my husband, we'll talk about spouse next week. But with the kids, it's interesting because Lili will bring up sometimes, "Mom, do you remember that time when you were downstairs and you were just crying and crying?" I'm like, "Yeah, honey, I remember that," because that was literally when I had left law enforcement, and I was just so sad. So sad. I felt like somebody just took something away from me that I loved to do. And I would just cry, and she'd be like, "Why are you crying?" I'm like, "I just really miss my job. I really miss helping people and all this." And she still talks about this to this day, and that's 3.5 years later. It's crazy that she remembers that, and she's only 6. It's crazy. But yeah, there's a lot of positive and other negative things that affected our family, and I'll save that for another time just because this one's getting kind of long. But yeah, go back to YouTube, or if it's within the 24 hours, read that, and don't forget My Lives Tomorrow.